What's up, guys? We're live now from Miami, Florida. Welcome to everyone that are joining us. We're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So, for those of you that are just joining us, make sure to comment below. Give it a quick thumbs up and comment below if you're on Facebook, just to make sure that our tech setup is working okay. We want to make sure that you can hear and see me okay. And as some of you are still trickling in, there's about 100 people now on Facebook. The way that this works, if you're joining us for the first time for one of our Facebook Lives or Facebook and YouTube Lives, is I basically take about an hour of our time and answer any questions you might have about the apparel industry, about embroidery or direct-to-garment printing, or anything you want to know about in terms of marketing and scaling your business within the custom apparel world, or anything else that you want to talk about. It's really kind of a interactive conversation depending on what kind of questions you guys ask. So I already see a lot of people joining in here from a variety of different places. So if you can, quick thumbs up to the video if you're on Facebook or on YouTube, just to make sure that everything is working okay. Let me know in the comments below if you can see and hear me okay, so that we can make sure to get the tech setup all squared away before we get started. All right, I see here from Patricia Newberry Jones. Hello from Mobile, Alabama. Happy New Year, everybody. Howard Jaws from California. Jay Young Sr., good to see you here again, Jay. From Houston. Jamie Bolding from Wisconsin. Hello, Jamie. Brenda Dean from New Jersey. Terry from Maine. Jennifer from Palm Coast, Florida. Good to see you again, Jennifer. All right. Donette Cooper from Michigan. Joseph Diaz from Washington. David Dutcher from Southern California. Wow, got a lot of people joining from a lot of different places. So good to have all of you here. Let me just quickly check if all the tech setups are working okay. Okay, so Patricia says, I can see and hear you great. Awesome. Sounds great from Caitlin Hurst. Pauline Johnson on Facebook, things are good here. Awesome. Loud and clear from Brenda Dean. Awesome. Great. Okay, so it seems like everything is working fine. Got a lot of thumbs up to make sure that everything's working good. So great. So before we kind of get started, let me just check over on YouTube here as well, as we are live from there. Okay, so YouTube seems to be good as well. Very good. If you have any questions about anything, make sure to type them in the comments below. But before we kind of get started, I wanted to make a couple of announcements, all right? So this is our last live stream for 2020. And you know, today is what, the 29th of December. So we're kind of nearing the end of the year. I know it's been a tough and challenging year for a lot of people. And we're kind of, you know, glad to put 2020 behind us and kind of move on to a new year, as I'm sure all of us are ready to do that. So this is kind of our last live stream on for 2020. So make sure you kind of get all your questions in. I know some people are coming back from vacation and kind of, you know, the holidays, and so people are kind of getting back into the groove of things and making sure that they're prepared for the upcoming year. And so making sure that you get all your questions answered and set yourself up for success, so that you can be well on your way to kind of, you know, continue to grow your business or kickstart your business in 2021. So that's kind of the purpose of today's conversation. I do want to make a couple of quick announcements and housekeeping things before we kind of jump into any of the questions that you guys might have. First and foremost, for those of you that don't know already, we do have an end of the year sale going on right now for both embroidery and direct-to-garment printers. So on the embroidery sides, it's payments as low as $130 per month with 0% financing for 72 months, as well as free shipping. You can also write off a lot of the purchase, actually your entire purchase, via the Section 179 tax code. So if you have a good CPA and you can ask them about Section 179, you can essentially write off your entire purchase of commercial equipment from your end of the year taxes. If you own like an LLC or something, you can actually use that as a business expense instead of having to depreciate it over time. You can use Section 179 to write off the entire thing, and that can save you anywhere, depending on your tax bracket, anywhere between like $3,000-$4,000 to up to $10,000 in taxes. So that's kind of what we have going on. Plus, you do get the 0% financing. Even if you go with the financing, you can use a Section 179 tax break. So you do have the 0% financing if you want to take advantage of that, as well as free shipping, which can save you upwards of $700-$800 for a single head, or even up to $1,500 for a multi-head. So depending on kind of where you are kind of at in your business and what you want to do, make sure that there's only a couple of days left in the year. So if you're looking for that extra tax incentive, you can take advantage of the Section 179 tax code and get into a piece of equipment or expand. If you're looking to expand and kind of use some of the budget for this year, so you can get some of the tax break heading into 2021. So you set yourself up for success starting in the new year. All right. So that's first and foremost the end of the year sale. And again, it's on both the embroidery machines and the direct-to-garment printers. So I mentioned the embroidery side on $130 per month. It was 0% financing and free shipping. On the DTG side, you do get a complete DTG package with not only the DTG machine, but also the heat press and everything else for you to get started for $249 per month with 0% financing and free shipping, which can save you about $700 to $800 on the shipment alone. These are not like, light things that you just ship in a box. These are quite heavy, so the shipping alone is able to save you quite a bit of money on both the embroidery as well as the DTG printers. So my team has put the link in for those in the comments and the description below. So feel free to check them out there if you're interested. I also do want to remind you as well for our heat presses. We do have 10% off for all Ricoma made heat presses. So if you want to check that out, make sure you check that out also on our shop, shop.ricoma.com. Put that up on the screen so you guys can see. But basically it's 10% off all the heat presses, and if you order over $1,000, you get free shipping as well. And these are not light heat presses, so that can save you quite a bit on shipping. Are you pushing it to the screen?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm not seeing it on the live. Okay. Oh yeah, now I see it. All right. Okay. So you do see on the screen there, shop.ricoma.com. All of our heat presses are on sale. The Ricoma ones, and you can get anywhere from like hat presses, flat presses, mug presses, label and plate, whichever fits your needs. If you're in the market for a heat press that can complement kind of your embroidery business, or you have a heat transfer business, maybe you do some heat transfer vinyl, or you do some screen printing or direct to garment printing, whatever the case is, the heat press does come in handy to make sure you press some of those garments. So we do have a variety of heat presses for you to choose from. All of them are 10% off, so you can get in on the deal there. And like I mentioned, if you order over $1,000, you get free shipping as well. So those are kind of the three major deals that we have going on. Again, the embroideries, the DTG, and the heat presses. Next, I do want to mention about Deco Summit. That's kind of coming up in the first quarter of 2021. So I do want to mention about Deco Summit. We still have the tickets on sale right now, so that's going to go up in about a week for the ticket prices. we have probably about 20 or 30 spots left. We already have over 180 people that have already bought tickets and have signed up and RSVP to the event. If you don't know what Deco Summit is, it's our premier educational conference that we hold once a year. We were supposed to have it last October, but we kind of pushed it to 2021 given everything that's going on. But we have secured the venue for 2021 in March, and so you will see the dates on the screen there, March 25th to the 27th in Miami, Florida. So if you're interested in that, we do have a lot of hands-on training and seminars from different guest speakers in the industry, so you can learn more about kind of the apparel industry as well as kind of get some hands-on training. If you opt in for the hands-on training classes, you get kind of small group size classes where you can work hands-on with the machine and get trained on specific topics. If you have like a VIP pass, you also get access to more in-depth demos and classes that otherwise the general admission tickets don't get access to. If you just want to kind of check things out, and maybe you're a beginner, just want to learn some in and outs of the apparel industry, the general admission ticket can also be a good option for you. You get access to all the seminars, as well as some digitizing classes, as well as other seminars with the machines and features and how to do special projects. All the breakdown of the different tiers of tickets are on the Deco Summit website, so make sure to check it out on decosummit.com. And as I mentioned, ticket prices are due to go up in about a week or so, as we're nearing kind of the 3-month mark for the event. So we're entering kind of the last phase of the event, where we only have about 20 to 30 tickets left. So that's kind of the breakdown there. Right now, the general admission tickets, they start at $295, and then depending on kind of if you want to go to upgrade on the VIP tickets or the hands-on training tickets, you'll see the breakdown on the prices on the Deco Summit website. I do believe I think we're either sold out or maybe have 1 or 2 spots left for the hands-on training classes. So make sure you get into that before they're fully sold out, because we do want to keep those class sizes small to make sure we give ample attention to each individual within the class. All right. So those are some of the housekeeping things that I wanted to get out of the way. If you have any questions about those 3 things, either the end of the year sale, the tax savings, or what's the deal, how does the financing work, or anything like that, feel free to ask them in the comments below. If you have any questions about the heat presses and the sale going on there, feel free to ask below. And last but not least, any questions on the Deco Summit tickets for the conference in March of 2021, feel free to ask them below as well. You can also ask any other questions you have about anything in general about embroidery or your specific case or situation, and what you want to get answered, and I'll be happy to answer those. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to go through and look at all of these questions and try to knock out as many of them as possible within the 1 hour or so time that we have here. All right, so scrolling through some of these comments. And again, if you have any questions, type them down below. So Shelly Huffman asked, this is the first question, what's the best needle for a sweatshirt? So depending on the material of the sweatshirt, Shelly, I would venture to say that either just a standard 75 by 11 needle would work. Now, whether you use sharp point or ballpoint, it really depends on the type of sweatshirt you are actually embroidering on. If it's more knit and more porous of a fabric, you want to use ballpoint so it doesn't puncture more holes in the fabric. If it's kind of dense and thick, you probably just want to use a 75 by 11 sharp point needle. So those are the best options there. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention, we're also having a giveaway on this Facebook Live, so that's important to note. I did forget to mention that we do have a giveaway at the end of this live stream, where we'll be giving away an all-in-one hooper. It's valued at about $755. If you don't know what an all-in-one hooper is, it basically helps you kind of put your hoop with these pegs on a hoop board, and you're able to hoop more consistently these different types of garments without having to like freehand it. You can actually have a hooping board that you can place so that it hoops consistently in the same spot every single time, and that's a $755 value. We'll be giving that away to one lucky winner at the end of this live stream. So Chris Luffren Strader asked, is there a discount if not using financing? So Chris, I would encourage you to contact our product specialist here. I mean, give us a call or send us an email, or fill out the form if you're interested in any of the products, so that they can contact you and discuss the pricing with you, depending on kind of what what you're looking to do. Are you looking to make a wire transfer by check, or whatever the case is, what model you want or what accessories you want? They will be able to give you more details on the price without using financing. Pauline Johnson asks, do you have to have a business license for the 179 form? I do believe you do, but don't quote me on that. I would encourage you to ask your CPA. You could be like a sole proprietor, but I think a CPA would be better qualified to answer that question, not from myself, because I'm not a CPA. But from the best of my knowledge, I do believe you do need a business to be able to have the Section 179 write off. So Amalia Gutierrez asks, once my logo is digitized and saved as RDE and DST, what's next? So if you already saved it as DST, just pop it into your machine and you can embroider it. That's kind of the next step there. Be Understood asks, this is a good question. How do you figure which niche to go with? So that's kind of the $1,000,000 question, Be Understood. So depending on kind of your circumstance, everybody's circumstance is different. Everybody's case is different. So there's no kind of right or wrong answer or a cookie cutter approach to which niche you decide to go with or start with. Now, given you can start with a niche and also change in the future or expand in the future, it's never kind of just if I pick something then I'm stuck with it. However, I would say that depending on your circumstance and kind of what your situation is, you could be better off choosing a different sectors or different niches so that it can benefit you and kind of kickstart you faster in your business. And what do I mean by that? So say you have kind of an in with a school, you have a connection with a local school. That might be something you want to kind of leverage and get into, right? Like you want to look around your network and kind of pick off the low-hanging fruits, so to speak, so that you can see who is in your network, who you have a connection with, that can make you an introduction or get you into some sort of org or company within your local area, so that you can be kind of have a leg up against the competition, given that you have that connection. Those are the areas that I would focus on in terms of determining your niche, because it's going to drive kind of which area you go to first. Now that's one way to pick a niche. I also have talked on previous videos about a different way to pick a niche, which is picking a niche based on product. You can pick a niche based on two different things. You can pick it based on a target audience, which is kind of the first way that I mentioned. Either you're targeting schools or targeting businesses or restaurants or whatever the case is, daycares, right? You pick a audience to target. Or even some people do like niches like weddings or catering to different events, the apparel for different events. So depending on kind of what your target audience is, you can determine your niche that way. Or the second way, as I was about to say, is determining your niche based on the type of product you're going to do. Are you going to focus more on like patches or caps or those cases, right? Like what product line you're going to focus on. Now, there's benefits to using either method. If you have an in or a connection with a particular set of audience, maybe you have you have an in with the wedding industry. You know a lot of wedding planners, and therefore they can get you in with a lot of different events that you can do apparel for. That's an in that someone else might not have, so you might want to start there. If you are very good at a particular type of product, or you're very efficient at making a certain type of product like patches, as an example, then you might want to specialize in a product area with patches or with caps or with jackets, whatever the case is, right? Like pick a product area and focus on that, and you can cater that to a wide range of audience. So either pick it based on your audience or pick it based on the product you want to do. And both of that will depend on your circumstance of kind of who's in your network and what connections you have to kind of get you started very quickly, or what kind of skill set or equipment you have to actually help you manufacture and produce a particular type of product. Maybe you have a machine that's has a wide sewing field, and therefore you can do a lot of patches. Maybe that's something that you want to start with. Maybe you really like patches and you're really good at doing them, and you have a market for them. You might want to start there and cater a lot of patches to a lot of people. I mean, there are multi-million-dollar businesses that are solely based on manufacturing patches, and that's all they do. So that's something to keep in mind. You can focus on audience you want to go after, or the product line that you want to start with. I think either of those are a great way to start, but it all depends on kind of your circumstance. So look around your network and find your strengths of what you're good at and head in that direction first. Are you picking out some of the comments?
I'm trying to locate them.
Okay. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. Patricia Newberry Jones says, I'm looking at the end of the year sale. Great. Feel free to get in touch with us. You only have a couple of days more left to look at that. So make sure you get in if you are on the fence there. Dustin L. Gaunt asks, Henry, I would like to look into DTG printing. What would you recommend for entire setup, everything, even including the printer and pre-treat equipment? Great question, Dustin. So I would say that with DTG printing, obviously pre-treating is a critical part of the overall DTG process. So with pre-treatment, you can do it in one of two ways. The cost-effective way and the cheaper way would be just use a spray gun, and you load up the pre-treatment that way, and you spray it. It's going to take a little longer, and you might have to have like a pre-treatment station kind of set up so you can kind of pre-treat the shirts there. The second way and the more costly way, but can be cleaner and more effective, is a pre-treatment machine. Now they can run upwards of like $4,000 depending on the model. So asking yourself whether you want to make that investment up front is something that you can consider. But knowing that there are different methods to kind of use the pre-treatment to kind of pre-treat the shirts. Also, you have a third way, which is you buy the shirts already pre-treated. Right, there's RTP Apparel who provides these pre-treated shirts that you can just buy at a slightly higher cost than kind of the blank shirts, but it's already pre-treated for you, so you kind of save that step. That's also an option to consider when you're getting started. Ask yourself whether you want to make that investment. But the most critical pieces are obviously the DTG printer and also the heat press. You need those two things to be able to cure the shirts, to to cure the pre-treat as well after it's pre-treated. So making sure you have a DTG printer and a heat press, and that can get you started. Whether the pre-treatment, you go with a spray gun or a pre-treatment machine, or kind of buying pre-treated shirts that come from the factory. Those are all options that you can have at your disposal. It just really depends on your budget and what kind of convenience you want to have. Obviously, you're going to have to pay more for a bigger convenience and more efficiency in a pre-treatment equipment, but it just really depends on kind of what you're looking to do and kind of your financial situation in the beginning to make sure that you have enough money to kind of get that extra setup, or you can just save some money and you go with a spray gun, which comes with kind of our DTG packages, as well as you can buy pre-treated t-shirts for like $2-3. So that's also a different option if you want to save the hassle there. Treasure Watkins says, I really want a bigger machine. Well, this is the time to get it before the end of the year sale ends on December 31st. So this Thursday will be the last day of the sale as we kind of wrap up the entire year. Patricia Newberry Jones asks, do you have your own embroidery software, or what do you use? So we use Ricoma here, and that's included in all of our machines. We have 3 different tiers of the Ricoma digitizing software. We have Ricoma Inspire, Ricoma Plus, and Ricoma Lux. Ricoma Inspire is included in your package, and you can choose to upgrade if you want more features. But essentially, you can use that digitizing software with a Mac or PC. That's one of the benefits of having Ricoma. It's Mac compatible as well. Most digitizing software is only PC compatible, so you would have to run like parallel on your Mac or buy a new PC just for the software. But in our case, the digitizing software works with both Mac and PC, and you're able to digitize your designs on there. Depending on the tier that you have, some things you can do on different tiers, and you can choose to upgrade if you choose to. So this is a great question from Nicholas Kyoishi. So he asks, "Hey Henry, what are your thoughts on scaling to have multiple single heads instead of getting a multi-head due to size and space? Is there some sort of loyalty program for repeat customers for single heads?" So I'll kind of answer the first part of your question. Well, let me answer the second part of your question. That's the easy part to answer, and a much shorter answer. So if you're looking for kind of getting some additional single heads to add on, again, contact our sales team and contact our product specialists so that they can know kind of what your needs are, what kind of product you want, what kind of machine you want, and so they understand your setup, what machines you already have, and they can see kind of what the pricing is there, whether you're doing financing or not financing or whatever the case is. But right now you do have free shipping. Whether you're doing financing or not, you do have free shipping. That can save you upwards of $600-700 on a single head. So make sure you you keep that in mind. But in terms of the actual kind of discounts and the pricing, just contact our product specialists. They'll be more in tune with the actual pricing. Now, with kind of my thoughts on having multiple single heads versus getting a multi-head, I've answered this question in several other live streams, and I've actually have probably multiple videos on YouTube answering this question as well. Feel free to check them out there. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe there. It's youtube.com/ I believe Ricoma Miami. So make sure you subscribe to that and so you can keep up to date with all these questions and videos that I put out answering questions just like this. But essentially, what it breaks down in terms of kind of going with additional single heads or adding a multi-head is it really depends on the type of items you're actually doing. So what I mean by that is if you have multiple single heads, you have a lot more flexibility in doing different items, right? You can have one running a cap, you can have another one running a different design on a polo shirt. Whatever the case is, you can use them as two separate machines, or you can use them as two single heads, kind of as a two head together to be able to do the same thing and have that production volume. Most people get a multi-head machine for the volume, right? You would only get a 4 or 6 or 8 head machine or even 12 head machine if you have like bulk orders of sizable volume. So you're doing like 6 items at the same time or 12 items at the same time of the same design on the same garment. That's when a multi-head embroidery machine is going to be super helpful for that scaling and for that volume orders, right? However, a 12-head machine is not going to be super helpful if you're doing kind of one-off things. If you're only doing a one-piece order, or you're doing a personalized order of different names, and you can only be doing one item at a time. You can only be doing one design at a time. So if you have a 12-head machine, you have to turn off 11 heads to just run that one head for that one order. So it's not very conducive, not very helpful to use your 12-head that way because you're kind of wasting the other 11 heads. That's why a lot of people have a combination of single head and multi-head in their shop so that they can keep the multi-head running for they can keep the multi-head running for these bulk orders, and then they can keep the single head running for personalized orders or small samples or even testing for their clients. Now, back to the kind of question of whether you should go with multiple single heads or a multi-head. It really depends on what type of items you're doing. If you are a shop that focuses a lot on personalization, right? Maybe like you do like jackets with different names on it or different logos, or you do a lot of one-off things. It's like one piece here or another piece there, but it's very personalized. Either has like someone's monogram on it or their name on it or a specific logo. That's very different, and you're not doing it in bulk. You're better off with multiple single heads. Why? Because you can do different items at the same time and keep both machines running. Versus having a 2-head machine, if you're only doing one-offs, you're only going to have one head off while doing the one-off order, right? So it's not very good for running these one-off and personalized orders. But a 2-head is great if you're doing 2 items at the same time of the same design. Now, the flexibility that you get with 2 single heads of like doing different things, that's going to cost you more, right? Because you have that optionality, you can both move the 2 single heads around and have it in different places, Also, you can do, two items of the same design or two items of different designs. You have that optionality and that flexibility. That option has some value in that, right? And because of the portability of two single heads, you also have some value there. So the two single heads are going to cost more than one two head. So that's just kind of how the pricing works. But you get that extra flexibility of different designs on different machines, as well as using them for the same design if you wish. So it can kind of act as a two head, but you can also separate them in different corners of the room for space purposes. So all of that, kept in mind, a two-head machine from us, from Ricoma, is probably going to cost about the cost of 1.5 single heads. So you essentially get the second head of a two-head machine for 50% off, if you think about it that way. Versus two single heads, you're gonna have to pay the price of two single heads. It's gonna be a little bit more costly, but you do get that optionality and flexibility of putting in different places as well as doing different designs. So depending on your circumstance of both space constraints or limitations, as well as the type of items that you're actually doing, you could consider two single heads or multiple single heads and network them together, or going with a multi-head depending on kind of if you have bulk orders or not. The most shops that I've seen that have been successful and been able to scale have both a combination of large multi-heads to do these bulk orders of the same design, as well as single heads to do these small one-off samples and testing, or small batches, small personalized orders for clients. And last but not least, I'll just give one more example so you can really kind of picture how this works, right? If you have a multi-head and a single head machine combo, say you have like a 4-head and a single head, right? And you get an order for a soccer team or a baseball team, right? And you have these players' jerseys that you have to embroider. I mean, it's a great order. There's, the team is large. Each person will probably need, 2 or 3 pieces of the same thing. So you might get like a 50 or 60 piece order. Now, this will be a perfect situation for a multi-head and single-head machine combo. Why? You can do the team's logo all on the multi-head, right? You can do all the, you can put 4 items, 6 items at the same time and run it on a 4 or 6 head machine and run it at the same time, because it's all the same design for the team's logo. But the player's name is going to be different. Each player's name is different, so you can't really run that very effectively on the 4 and 6 head. But as your logos are being finished for the team logos on the jerseys, you can pop them off onto the single head and keep that running, with the names and the personalized names on those orders at the same time. So neither machine has any downtime. That's the beauty of having a multi-head and single-head machine combo. I think we recently actually did a video on this on our YouTube channel, showcasing how we kind of manage an order like this. That was some customized kids hoodies with some personalized names, but the logo being the same. So we were able to use, I think, Willie digitized the whole thing and did the whole order on a single head MT and a 2-head MT. So it was able to keep both machines running and keep the production flow very efficient, given the multi-head, the 2-head is doing the kind of the logo, which is the same thing, and the single head is doing the individual names. So make sure to check that out if it kind of gives you a better idea of how your setup should be. But if you're just kind of focusing on a lot of personalized orders, I would go with multiple single heads. If you're focused on more bulk orders, I would go with a combination of a multi-head and a single head. Cheryl Meyer says, I'm interested in a 2-head 1502. Great. Contact our product specialist. They'll be happy to help you out there. Vig Reyes says, got my LLC, my tax ID. Next is my business bank account, then a small loan, then a Ricoma embroidery machine to create some of the mbme.com new era hats. Awesome. Excited AF. We're excited for you as well. So, get in touch with us when you're ready to move forward. Sebastian Holzer asks, how much is a 4-head from Ricoma? So the sales specialist and the sales team would be better in tune with the actual pricing, but they're probably around $30,000. That's where the forehead is, and it also depends on whether you want the wide version or there's the standard version. The wide version has a larger embroidery area on each head, so you can do like a lot of jacket back designs. So there's also financing available on that as well. So if you're interested, get in touch with our sales team. And as I mentioned before, with the free shipping, a forehead can save you upwards of like $1,200 in shipping alone. So if you're interested, make sure you get in on the end of the year sale before that expires. Holly Bear Foster says, I'm interested in the hat press and the TC1501. Great. If you're are getting that before the end of the year sale ends, you do get 10% off on the hat press, so that can save you some money there, and the free shipping, of course, so it can ship together with your machine. Nana King says, is the summit virtual? No, the summit is actually in person in our Miami, in Miami, Florida. So make sure you check out decosummit.com to purchase the tickets. Be Understood also asks, how do I purchase the tickets? You'll purchase them on decosummit.com. Caitlin Hurst asks, is the financing based off of credit score? How much is needed to put down? Great question, Caitlin. So in terms of the financing, it is based on your credit and some other factors. We don't actually do the financing in-house. We work with a third-party bank, so we don't actually know the criteria of what they look for. But obviously, a credit score, a good credit score is going to help in the credit approval. How much is needed to put down? If you're fully approved for the whole thing, you don't need to put any money down. It's zero down. That's a great beauty of it if you're able to get the whole financing approved. Now, if you only get a partial approval, then you would need to put the remaining balance as money down to be able to acquire the machine. But the only way to find out is to really apply and check out how much you can qualify for, as well as making sure that you also have the option to go with a joint applicant, a co-signer, if you want to do it that way, so that you can you can actually get multiple applications. If you apply by yourself and you get like $5,000 as an example, right? You can actually apply again with a co-signer, maybe get $10,000, and you can piece together the two towards your final purchase. So it works kind of just like a credit card, where you can piece together different cards towards a final purchase. And every dollar you get approved, it's 0% financing. Holly Bear Foster also asks, with a ticket to Deco Summit, do we get hotel options? Yes. We have a venue where we have a room block with hotels there. So with rooms there, so you can book it through our link, and that will get you some special pricing there. And that's right at the conference, so you can just head downstairs the day of the conference. Speaking of which, all of our machines, until the Deco Summit tickets go up in price, all of our machine packages right now include a free Deco Summit tickets. Only the general admission tickets, though. So it's right now it's a $295 value. If you purchase a machine before the end of the year sale ends, they do come with a Deco Summit ticket in there, a free general admission Deco Summit ticket. So if you want to upgrade your ticket, you can feel free to do that and just pay the upgrade price to a VIP or a hands-on training, depending on what session you want to attend. But it does come with a general admission ticket. When you purchase your machine, we send you a code, and then you kind of claim it through the link, and you can get a free ticket. But that's only available if you purchase a machine during the end of the year sale. So if you're thinking about attending a Deco Summit, if you just want to attend the summit and you don't have a machine, just want to learn about it, obviously you don't need to buy a machine to attend that. You just buy the ticket separately. But if you do buy a machine, you also you have the time to attend the summit, I would highly encourage that, because you learn from others. You can network with over 200 people that are in the industry, as well as guest speakers and professionals within the business that can actually help you along your apparel journey. So that's something that if you already get a free ticket, if you just want to upgrade, just pay the upgrade price, and we can work out the difference there. Daniel Devine says, your sales team rocks as always. Thank you so much, Daniel. Good to see you again, Daniel. And Happy New Year to you. Alec Carter Stanley says, interested in the single head 15 needle. Yeah, so if you have any questions on that specifically, feel free to ask away. But otherwise, you can contact our sales team. We have the pinned comment in the comment section where you can kind of fill out the form, and our team will get in touch with you. Kim Courtney says, I have the RI1000 DTG printer. Where can I get more instruction and training about getting the best print outs for my designs? They seem to come out faded and not very colorful, especially when compared to designs like the ones from Great Dane Graphics. So, Kim, that's probably in the pre-treatment. It just sounds like that's in the pre-treatment and the way that you're pre-treating it based on kind of your description. But I will get in touch with our training department. I don't know if you went through your training already, but contact our service team, service@ricoma.com. They can help you get a training set up or give you further guidance on how to get the quality prints and check and see if it's an issue with your pre-treatment and how well you're pre-treating and coating the actual garment before you print it. Pauline Johnson says, when will the EM1010 extended table be in stock? Yeah, I know that's been out of stock for quite some time. I don't have an ETA on that, but it should be soon. And I say should because we do have a few containers that are coming in before the end of the year. So I just don't know if the specifics within those containers, whether the EM1010 extended table are actually in that shipment. But it's been such a popular item. That's why it's been out for such a long time. And people have kind of had like placed the pre-orders to kind of, lock in their spot and then wait like a month or two to get it, but it is something that's very popular. That's why we're kind of back ordered on that. But I do think just from the containers that are coming in, there should be some. I just don't know if they're going to be sold out again by the time they actually go back on the shop. Ashley Jones asks, how does the trade-in program work? So the trade-in program is just like a car. You can trade in your and I actually just got a notification that the EM1010 extended table is available. So Pauline, I think they just need to update the site, and I don't know if you can go to the site and check it out now on the extended table, but it should be available now. So back to Ashley Jones' question about how does the trade-in program work. So in terms of the trade-in program, it works just like a car, Ashley. You can trade in your current machine, and then we'll give you a value for it depending on kind of its condition, as well as what year it's made, what year you bought it, and the residual value on it. And then we'll kind of essentially do a buyback and then apply that credit to an upgrade. So usually people trade in for an upgrade to like a 2-head and up. So you can get that credit, get that trading value applied to your new purchase, and just pay the upgrade difference. That's how essentially it works. It works just like a car trade-in. So if you want to kind of like trade in a machine, get in touch with your sales rep or your account coordinator so that they can handle the actual trade-in. They will look at your machine, take pictures, make sure that they can get the serial number and all of that stuff, and give you a trade-in value for it. And then depending on the machine that you want, apply that towards the machine purchase. Jamie Gardner asks, what hoops come with the MT1502? So it comes with 12 hoops of different sizes, all the way from like 3 inch round hoops to like 5-inch round, 7-inch round, 9-inch round, to the square ones that are 12 by 12, to the jacket backs that are 22 by 14 inches large. So those you can do like jacket backs, as well as a lot of patches on those jacket back hoops. So those are all the hoops that come with the machine, as well as the cap attachment. You get 2 cap rings on each head, and you get the cap attachment on each head as well to be able to do hats. All right, let me quickly check in on YouTube, see some questions from our YouTube audience. Let me see here. Okay, so let's see some questions on YouTube. We have some questions on YouTube. So the print house asks, 16 by 20 heat presses have threadability. So the current ones with the clamshell, You can definitely thread the shirt. We're actually coming out with another option in the future where the threadability is even higher with the swing away presses. But the clamshell ones right now, you can still thread the t-shirt if that's what you're asking. Embroidery and Ribbon Craft Creations asked, when will the extension tables be available for the EM1010? I just answered that on Facebook. It is available now, so you can purchase that. Let's see what other questions. Brian Boyer asked, yeah, last evening I was doing hoodies. I think our team also answered that question, but I ran the perimeter test and then the draw out test, and one jacket stopped and the error came up X out of range. So yeah, so your design is too close to the edges of the hoop. So you need to bring it more in to avoid that error. That's so that it prevents you from hitting the actual hoop and damaging the machine. Casey Russell ordered our MT1501. Would love to win the all-in-one hooper. Great. Congrats. Noah Hawk asked, how is your day going? Good, Noah. Mary Cope, is there more info on Deco Summit? So depending on kind of what info you want, you can also find all the information at decosummit.com, but feel free to ask any specific questions on that. So it's her again asks, why do people spray their embroidery with water? So that's probably when people use like wash away, like water soluble toppings. So you spray it with water, so the wash away topping kind of like washes away, right? With water, it would just melt away. So that you can get that topping off. That's probably why people spray it with water. Embroidery, I wouldn't say it's high maintenance. I think it's probably one of the lowest maintenance things that's in custom apparel. There are oiling points and things you do need to maintain as a machine owner, so that you can keep your machine longevity and make sure that it's running smoothly, and do that maintenance. But it's not very maintenance intensive. You just need to oil a couple of oiling spots depending on use and frequency, and then you clean out underneath the needle plate, no excess thread and all the thread clippings. Make sure that's all cleaned out, and just keep your machine generally clean. And if you do that, it's gonna last you a long time. So if you got Wilcom with your embroidery machine from Ricoma, you won't be able to get Chroma, but you can purchase Chroma separately or upgrade it if you want, because it is two separate serial numbers in two different products. So it's a her again asks, why you got Wilcom with your embroidery machine. We used to sell Wilcom. That was probably like a year or two ago. Actually, yeah, about a year and a half ago, we used to sell Wilcom, but we moved on to our own software. Given with Wilcom, there were a lot of things that weren't as user friendly. Also, you can't use it on a Mac, and we just decided to develop our own software, and it better integrates with our machines as well, so it can send designs to the machines, via the digitizing software platform itself, without having to, set up another interface. All of that is benefits having our own software and having our own protocol to integrate with our machines. Mary Cope says, I got Wilcom with my machine, purchased Chroma the following year. So again, there's a lot of benefits to Chroma over Wilcom. Not only is it Mac compatible, but also you can do a lot of things with Chroma Lux, the highest version of Chroma, the software. You can do everything that Wilcom is able to do. Not only that, it's like half the price, and you can use it on a Mac, and it integrates with Ricoma machines perfectly. It also works very well with other machines. If you have other machines, because it works as a standalone embroidery software. Even if you have like a single needle machine, you can also use Chroma to digitize your designs and then kind of save it as the file that you need, the file format that your machine reads, and populate that on a USB and transfer it to your machine. But especially when you have a Ricoma machine, it integrates super well with our machines because it's our software, we made it, and so it integrates very well, and it's compatible with Mac and half the price of Wilcom, and can do everything that Wilcom does. Jeff Lee asks, if I were to purchase your commercial single head, what does it come with? So a lot of things, to be honest, Jeff. Everything that's included is it's on our website, but to kind of list off a few things, you do have things such as if you purchase the machine, you also you get all the hoops and accessories that come with it. So the tubular hoops, as well as the cap attachment to be able to do hats, the cap rings, the stand with casters and rollers and wheels to be able to roll it around, as well as free training. You get free training and lifetime tech support, a 5-year warranty. So you get comfortable with your machine. You can always have someone to talk to and answer questions. And by the way, the support is 7 days a week and after hours. So our support goes from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So most companies only 9 to 5. We go from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. So that covers most of West Coast as well during normal hours from 9 to 9 Monday through Friday, and then from Saturday and Sunday 9 to 5 p.m. So even on Saturdays and Sundays, you have someone to talk to be able to answer your questions. We're the only one in the industry that has the infrastructure and the processes to be able to facilitate a 7 days and after hour support system, because we really value the success for our customers, and your success is our ability to grow and succeed. And so being able to have access to support on the weekends and after hours when you're working late at night, it's going to help a lot with some of the questions that you might have on how to do something, or just get a second opinion on something. Ado Jamilu asks, hi, can you resume embroidery to where you left off when there's a sudden power failure if you want to continue the next day or so? Yes. So it does have memory retention in the machine. So if you turn it off the night before and you turn it on again, as long as you don't move the hoop, right? Because you can bump the hoop when the power's off, the hoop, the bracket arms, it doesn't lock in. The pantograph, it's not locked. So as long as you don't bump it and move it, the next day when you turn around, it's at the same spot. Mary Cope says, you purchased your MT-1501 2 years ago, never used it. I would encourage you to start using it. If you have trouble starting it and want to get kind of help get help starting your machine again, get our free training. It's free lifetime training. So get in touch with our trainers and get in on the free training and get that refresher so you can start using your machine again. Oscar asks, can I use Chroma for any format? The list of formats is listed in the dropdown when you save your file, so it's in there, and it's gonna help tell you kind of what format we support. All right. I think those are most of the questions. Jeff Lee with one other question. How much is the EM1010? EM1010 is around $9,000. Or $130 a month with 0% financing. So right now we have the free shipping going on, so that saves you an extra like $600 depending on where you're getting it shipped to. So get in touch with our team and make sure you get in on that before the end of the year sale ends. And same goes for Evelyn H. Where can I find out the pricing for your machines? Get in touch with our sales reps, and they're more than happy to assist you. They're all on standby to answer any calls. Feel free to call us. I'm gonna type down here the phone number to call if you're interested in calling. All right, and then our team, if you can just kind of put in the comments on YouTube the link to get in touch with our sales team for the end of the year sale, so that people like Evelyn and Jeff, they can get in touch and get that secured in before the year ends. All right. As I mentioned, the end of the year sale does end in a couple of days, so you only have today, tomorrow, and Thursday to finalize the deal to get that logged in. So I do see the link there. So if you're interested in that, make sure to click on that. All right, back to Facebook. I know we're coming up to the top of the hour. I'll kind of go on to answer another maybe 5 or 6 questions, and then kind of announce our winner for the all-in-one hooper, so we can kind of get that shipped out to someone, to one lucky winner, and see who is the lucky winner there. So, quick question from Jennifer Divine. Is Garmio still available? I signed up on December 3rd. My application is still pending. Yes, so we're still going through a lot of applications, Jennifer. They do take time, and also we're letting in qualified vendors on a rolling basis. It's not going to be as quick if you applied. Just to give you a sense, we have over 400 applications sitting in the pipeline to go through. A lot of people are interested on the Garmio platform, but we are going through them, and we'll contact you if we need any other information. But basically, there's overwhelming demand for getting in as a vendor on the platform. We're trying to balance the supply and demand to make sure that we get qualified vendors on the platform and also get the demand up, so that we can balance that when we scale the platform. So it is still available. It's very much in the works, and the website is still live. But I would encourage you to be patient, as there's a lot of people that have already applied, even some towards the beginning of the year, that are still working through the processes. Ryan Wilson asks, I just got my Ricoma 10 needle and started my training today. Once I get trained, if I'm doing hats on it, how many can I do in 1 hour or so? That's people always ask that, Ryan, and the answer is it really depends. It depends on the size of your design and how many stitches are there in there, and how efficient you are. But I would say a normal like 3,000 to 5,000 stitch design, you can probably do like 7 or 8 of those hats in 1 hour on the EM1010. If you have a larger design like 10,000 stitches, then that probably cuts the number of hats you can do in half, maybe only 3 or 4 in that given hour. So it just depends on the type of design that you have. But a simple design, easily 7, 8 hats in an hour. Wendy Thoen asked, is there a recommendation on bobbins for hats? I've seen folks recommend the magnetic ones. Do they make a difference? Yes, I do think the magnetic ones do make a big difference. We only use those here, so we don't use the paper ones. Sebastian Holzer asked, what's the performance gain if you compare a 4-head with a single head? Is it possible to have different items on different heads? So I kind of answered this question before. You can't have different items and different designs on different heads if you have a multi-head. That's why you would have a multi-head and a single-head machine combo. But multi-head, you save a lot on cost, because your cost per head will drastically go down the more heads you buy. And it's really meant for volume and bulk orders. Nicholas asked, hey Henry, can you explain or clarify a wholesale embroidery price sheet versus a regular embroidery price sheet for customers? So wholesale just basically means you are you are a subcontractor, and someone else is buying the apparel from you to resell it. So they're kind of either contracting it to you, or maybe they're like a school or something, right? And they sell the apparel, so you have to kind of give them a wholesale price so they can make their margin. A regular, quote unquote, regular embroidery price sheet is to the end user, to the retail user. So we don't. That's a great question though, in terms of kind of how you kind of balance those, right? Obviously, the pricing has to be different. A wholesale customer is going to be different than a retail customer, and you have to determine a different price point for those. We might do a video in the future kind of on this particular topic, talking about how to determine a wholesale price sheet versus a retail price sheet. I do have videos determining kind of a retail price sheet depending on your time that it takes to do the item. So make sure to check that out. But a wholesale price sheet will have to be a step below that in terms of a lower cost, lower pricing, but you would justify that with volume. You should be able to get larger volume for lower pricing on a wholesale order. So Kim Courtney asks, I want to embroider patches to be pressed onto hats. Which heat press will be to press my patches onto hats? That would be the hat heat press. So we do have that for 10% off on shop.ricoma.com. Make sure to check that out there. just get the hat heat press. I believe the model number is like HP 15. It's like 15. I forgot the exact. It's like 1112 FC or something like that. But just search for the cap heat press on shop.ricoma.com. Yeah, I see a lot of questions about interested in a particular machine. Just contact, go to the link that we pinned for that particular reason, so that you can check out the deals there. Ashley Jones also asks, are there any deals if you don't want the hoops that come with the machine and get Mighty hoops instead? Again, reps will be able to work out that pricing for you if you want to swap out one thing with another. All right. Rome Coy asks, how much backing material should I buy to start? Depending on your volume, Rome, I don't know kind of how much you use, but you do get a starter kit with supplies, including backing, with your Ricoma machine purchase. So depending on that and how fast you burn through it, you can kind of estimate how much you would need in the future. Terry Abbott asks, can you tell me the difference between the 8-in-1 and the Mighty hoops? Do I need both? So they serve very different purposes, Terry. The 8-in-1 device is meant for unhoopable items like sleeves and pockets and baby onesies, backs of caps, those type of stuff. You float the actual design. You don't actually hoop it. You use sticky backing and you stick it onto the hoop to be able to stabilize it and hoop it that way. The Mighty hoops is a magnetic hooping system to really kind of like hoop these heavy and thick items like Carhartt jackets, duffel bags, things of that nature. It's super helpful for those things. Or you pair it with like a Hoop Master hooping system and you're able to hoop like polo shirts very consistently in the same spot, and you don't have to press down on it. You just kind of like put the magnets next to each other and they snap together. So they serve very different purposes, so I just want to make sure that you understand that. The 8-in-1, we have a video on YouTube on that, and that's for a complete different purpose than the Mighty hoops. Cindy Louise McDonald asks, going to be purchasing a brand, only have one question, why Ricoma? Great question, and not the first time we've had to answer this question, but it kind of really boils down to a couple of things, Cindy. I'm not going to spend too long kind of going over the points, but if you ask around, Ricoma's machine has the best value, basically the best bang for its buck. Not only do we offer the 0% financing, we offer everything you need to get started in a complete package with training, with everything in terms of accessories, the hoops, the cap attachments, all of which you would need to buy a la carte with a lot of other companies. It's all inclusive in one single package for one very low monthly payment and free shipping. So that's the value end of everything you get, right? You get the 50 needle machine, you get a low monthly payment, you get the stand, you get the software, you get everything that you need in one single package. That's first and foremost in terms of the value that we're able to bring. Second, we're the only one in the industry that's able to offer 7 days and after-hour support. You can't find that anywhere else with any other brand. And I think that peace of mind goes a long way. A lot of people have benefited a lot from that. I mean, our phones are busy, on the weekends. We have people dedicated here to answer those calls for that reason, because we know that everybody's schedule is different. We want to accommodate as many people's schedule as possible. People might be working full-time jobs and then they're doing embroidery on the side after work. It might be 7, 8 p.m. They're cranking out an order. They have a question. They have someone to talk to because our support goes up to 9 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. And then on the weekend, when you have some free time and you're cranking out orders, you also have someone to talk to. That peace of mind and that support every single step of the way goes a long way. And that's kind of like added free of charge for you, right? There's no additional cost like some other companies that will charge you after your warranty expires, can charge you upwards of $300 per month just to talk to their support team. I know a couple of companies that do that. I won't mention the names here. I have plenty of videos on YouTube talking about that. But with the fact that support is included for the lifetime that you are a machine owner, even after your warranty expires, you can talk to our team free of charge, and it's 7 days a week and after hours. So I just think there's a lot of value there, a lot of bang for your buck. You also get free lifetime training. So if you want to get a recertified and retrained, or if you have new staff that you want to get trained, the more the merrier. We have a training system where we have daily trainings where you can just sign up and then get trained if you have new staff coming in. So all of those things, and plus the fact that we are one of the only ones in the industry that manufactures our own machine, meaning we don't just tack on our brand to a machine and then resell it. A lot of companies do that. A lot of people that you'll buy a machine from, they're just dealers. They are distributors and resellers of a particular product. We are actually the factory, so we pass on a lot of the savings to you. Not only that, that's why we're able to offer the 7 days and after-hour support and all of those things. But also, we pass on the cost savings to you. We're able to offer the low monthly payment and the 0% financing. All of that is because we are the actual factory. We're the actual manufacturers of the machines, and our technicians are all factory certified. So knowing that you're directly buying from the source, I think there's not a lot of companies that do that here in the U.S. where you're actually buying directly from the source. You're not buying from a middleman, right? That has to make their margin and therefore mark up the machine and might not know the machine as well as the actual source, the actual manufacturer does. So those three things that I mentioned probably are the main reasons why people go with us: the resources, the support, the ecosystem. I mean, you can see we have over like 50,000 subscribers on YouTube and growing, tons of content every single week. All of that is to help make sure that our customers are successful with our product. Kim Courtney asked, does Ricoma offer a sublimation printer yet? So Kim, the R550 white toner transfer printer can actually do sublimation if you just buy the sublimation toner cartridges. So that's the printer that can do all-in-one there. All right, I'll answer kind of like 3 more questions, and I kind of have to move on to announcing the winner, and then we will see who the winner is. A quick answer for Mita. If you bought the machine from a local dealer in Toronto, and you're kind of like stuck on where to start, join one of our free online trainings. You can do that if you want, or get in touch with that dealer to provide you with hands-on training. But if you just want to do it on a digital course, join one of our free live trainings here. All right, so third to last question. Alan McQueen asked, no matter how tight I hoop my caps, the cap hoop, I still have flex in the cap while I'm embroidering. How can I get rid of flex? So we have a whole video on YouTube talking about that. Just search Richardson caps on the Ricoma, and then you can see how to do that. Basically, you lower your cap driver as much as possible, and also you can lower your presser foot so it kind of holds down the cap tighter. But lowering the cap driver will probably get rid of the flex a lot of the times. Beth Terry says, does Ricoma still offer the sequin attachment? Yes, we absolutely do. It would take some installment, like actually installing it, but we do offer that. Pauline Johnson asks, when do you know when to do maintenance on your embroidery machine? So we teach the maintenance in our training. If you need a refresher on that, there's also a maintenance video on our YouTube channel. A lot of maintenance videos there that you can check out the maintenance on your specific machine. And if all else fails, contact our support team. They'll be more than happy to walk you through the maintenance. I would encourage you to write that down somewhere so you can have that schedule ready. All right. Picking one last question. Let's see, a lot of questions here, so I'm not going to be able to get through all of them, unfortunately, but hopefully I was able to answer a lot of questions that you guys had. Let's see here. Now, this is a quick one, so I'll answer this and I won't count it towards the last question. Joan asked, Joan Eldecac asked, where can I find videos to help me with Chroma? You can find them on our Chroma channel, Chroma Digitizing, or on our Ricoma channel on YouTube, both of which have Chroma videos. We also have the weekly Chroma webinars, I think 2 or 3 a week, with our trainers here, specifically dedicated to features and how to use Chroma. So make sure to sign up for those if you haven't. And by the way, guys, we launched a customer, like a Ricoma customer portal called My Ricoma, I think a couple of months ago. all the resources are in there. So if you haven't logged in, make sure you log in. Like, that's your portal of all the videos, all the resources, signing up for trainings, all the where to contact support, all of those things are in there. The only Wabi, yeah, you can trade in your EM1010 if you want to upgrade. So that's not an issue. I can answer that question before. Let's see, one question that I haven't answered. Awesome. Okay, last question from Caitlin Hurst. I have one more question. I've never done embroidery before and fairly new to the sewing world. Would one of these machines be a good fit for a new beginner, or would it be a good idea for me to start off with a smaller machine first and get my clients built up? I also live in a smaller town and don't have many clients at the moment because I've only done quilts and blankets. All right, so Caitlin, I would say any of the single head machines, either the EM1010 or at least a TC or an MT1501 would be the best fit to suit your needs. I wouldn't go smaller than that with like a single needle. You're gonna outgrow that very quickly if you're doing that as a business. I would say that on average, and I've answered this question before on another YouTube video, on average, most of our customers with no experience and background in sewing and embroidery probably learn everything and get in a comfortable groove within a 3 to 4 month period. Okay, so about a 3-month period to get up to speed and learn everything about the machine, about digitizing, about how to hoop stuff, how to look at tension, embroidery, all of those things within a 3-month period. So, and that's for people that have no background, no experience. If you have some experience with single needles or other sewing machines in the past, there's going to be some concepts that are very similar. That ramp up time could be faster. Again, this is just on average. Some people learn faster. Some people take more time. That just really depends on you and the time that you have to dedicate to the craft. But I would say that there are plenty, hundreds and thousands of customers that have started with no prior experience in embroidery and have done tremendously well and have upgraded to bigger machines from us and have grown their business, especially in 2020, even when with everything going on. So I definitely think it's doable, but your particular circumstance and your level of dedication and time that you can put aside to learn this will also be dependent on your end. All right, I think those are all the time that we have for today for the questions. Wow, there's a lot of questions that I'm just scrolling through this. There's a ton of questions that I wasn't able to get to. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll announce the winner for the all-in-one hooper now, and then if I didn't answer any of your questions, our team will kind of go through and kind of reply to some of the questions at the end. And I think throughout the live stream, our team is in there kind of answering some of the questions too. So maybe some of those questions did get answered, but if they didn't get answered, make sure to tune in to the next live and we can talk about it then. Or if it's anything support related, send an email to our service team, service@ricoma.com, and we can get that answered there. Before we announce the winner, I do want to remind you guys the 3 announcements and the 3 things that I mentioned in the beginning of the conversation in the live stream. Make sure to pull that up on the screen. The 3 sales that we have going on. The first thing is the embroidery machine sale, as low as $130 a month. Can you pull that up on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Pull that up on the screen. The embroidery machine sale, $130 a month with 0% financing and free shipping. Okay, make sure you get in touch with us on that if you haven't done so already. That does expire on December 31st for our end of the year sale. You also get tax savings with Section 179 on that. The DTG sale as well with the DTG machines being $249 per month with everything included: heat press, pre-treatment, pre-treatment liquid and the spray gun, all of that included for $249 a month, also with free shipping. Make sure you check that out. And then last but not least, with Deco Summit, make sure to check that out if you want to join our conference next year in March in Miami, Florida. The ticket prices do go up from $295 starting in about a week. So make sure you get in on that. We do have only about 20 spots left, as I mentioned, and depending on which ticket you get, the prices will be different. You can always upgrade if you want the higher tier tickets to get access to more things. And as I mentioned, if you buy a machine before the end of the year sale ends, you do get a Deco Summit general admission ticket included in there for free, so you can claim that if you want. And also, you can upgrade for the price difference. Basically, you get the general admission ticket for free, and you can upgrade for the price difference if you want. All right, cool. So with that said, you guys, let me take a look at who the winner is. Our team already kind of picked a winner. Let's see. The winner, all right, so the winner for the all-in-one hooper, again, $750 of value. And our team will get in touch with you after the live stream to kind of ship you that that add-on, so you can use it to hoop your garments. So the winner for the $750 all-in-one hooper is Tani Signs, or Tani Signs, if I'm mispronouncing that. But Tani, our team will get in touch with you. Congrats on winning that all-in-one hooper, and we will get that shipped out to you so that you can start using it. Thank you so much for joining the live and asking questions. I hope this was helpful. I do this every single month so that you guys can kind of get direct access to myself for this dedicated 1 hour, 1.5 hour of time, so that we can make sure to answer any questions. As you saw, I try to speed through these as much as possible, so you really get direct access to myself and to be able to answer any of those questions that's burning on your minds. All right, and we constantly give giveaways on these lives, so don't miss out on them. Share it with your friend. Make sure your friends join. Make sure anyone that finds it helpful joins. And I kind of want to wrap up everything by saying 2020 was a very tough year, and we all understand that. But I think there's one thing that has really driven the success of a lot of embroiderers and apparel decorators within this tough year, and that's those that have actually focused on being on the offensive instead of playing defense have actually made a difference in their business and actually grown their business throughout this time. Those that have been able to pivot and adapt to making masks, to decorating masks, and going where the demand is, making sure they have the equipment and the knowledge to be able to fulfill those type of orders, have actually done super well this year. Not only just surviving, but actually thriving in this tough year. So even though everything was kind of very tough and people were kind of figuring things out and really adapting, I really think that 2020 was a learning experience for a lot of us, where we always have this philosophy where opportunities are always present, and especially when everyone is kind of playing defense. If you're playing offense and you're playing to win, not playing not to lose, okay, there's a big difference there. If you're playing to win and not just playing not to lose, you will be able to find opportunities that others won't be able to find. And congrats to those that have kind of kickstarted their business, and even during times like these have diversified their income stream, because maybe they wanted to have some other source of income with embroidery or direct to garment or heat transfer or whatever the case is. Taking that next step and dedicating your time and knowledge to learning the craft so that you can supplement your income or even grow your business even further, and while everyone else is skinning back, those of you have found success in this business. Now, there's only a couple of days left till the end of the year, so that we can put 2020 behind us. I'm sure 2021 will be an even better year, and it can only go upwards from here. But looking back at 2020, even though with all these challenges, I think there were still glimpses of hope and a lot of success stories that have come out of this tough year, provided that people had the right mindset and the right approach to their personal and professional life and to their business. And that's what I've generally seen as a general theme of what we've been able to capture and summarize throughout this entire year from speaking to thousands of customers and clients, right? That's kind of the theme that we were able to gather, and that's the philosophy that we hold ourselves to here at Ricoma, to be able to constantly provide value to you guys, so that you find value from these talks, from these videos, from these content, so that you can be successful and apply it to your business. Those that take action is going to get rewarded by their action. The time that you put in, the dedication that you put in, is only going to return return you, multiple times of that in the future. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you guys so much for joining. And if I don't talk to you guys again, before the new year, happy holidays and happy new year. Hope you're enjoying this kind of time off and kind of ramping back up into the grind mindset starting in 2021. I know we are doing that here, and we're already looking forward to 2021 with a lot of plans of in store for you guys. A lot more content, a lot more resources, and a lot more products to be able to round out our entire suite of product offerings to make sure that you guys are as successful as you can be. I would encourage you to do the same and kind of meet your end of the bargain and take the next step to kickstarting or growing your custom apparel business, whether it's with embroidery, with DTG, or with heat transfer, whatever the case is. Just get started, find the opportunity, find your niche so that you can kind of kickstart your business and don't stick around waiting. And then we had the same conversation next year during this time, and you're still stuck in the same place. So I would encourage you to just take that next step and know that there's going to be the support system with us here at Ricoma and our support staff here, as well as the ecosystem of community and resources that we provide with other embroiderers, having your best interest. Everyone is very helpful and growing together in our Facebook groups and all of those things, so that people are growing together and learning this business together. So you're not alone. You just have to take action and take the next step. All right. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next year, take care.